second Stan, the Stan that we know was actually Stanley, but the first Stan was Stanford, but we didn't know until that Stanford came out of the portal, which was built by Stanford, but then Stanley pretending to be Stanford, he did the portal because he's Stan, but he's not Stan.
Seuss, it's 3 in the morning.
Okay, I understand. Anyway, Act 2. Stan started getting like the beat.
A Tale of Two Stans finally came out, and it was a really, really good episode. We basically got the entire backstory of Stanley and Stanford Pines. The only thing we didn't get to see was mostly what the author did, so we didn't get to see his interaction with Bill Cipher and half of what he did with Fiddleford McGucket. We only saw some brief sections of it. But I'm almost certain that that's going to appear in another episode in the future. So, here is my analysis of A Tale of Two Stans. The episode starts with Stanley and Stanford Pines as young boys playing on Glass Shard Beach. It's here you can begin to see the similarities between them and Dipper and Mabel, with Grunkle Ford being closer to Dipper and Grunkle Stan being closer to Mabel. Some proof of that are these scenes.
Cool. Splinters. This attic is amazing. Check out all my splinters.
After we get that cold intro, we get to see the new opening. And when I say new, I mean exactly the same except for one difference. The picture of the pterodactyl is now gone and has been replaced with a picture of the author holding journal number 1. After that, we get to see Stanley and Stanford fight, Dipper and Mabel react to what's going on, and then we finally get the backstory. We see that they lived in New Jersey and they had a father who owned a pawn shop and a mother who was a psychic. Stan also explains how his brother was always smarter and was born with a rare birth defect, giving him 6 fingers on each hand. Unfortunately, everything went wrong after Stanley ruined Stanford's chances at his dream university. This of course split them apart, one getting kicked out of the house and the other going and investigating the supernatural. After doing some research, he discovers that most of the anomalies in the world come from gravity falls. He then builds a house where there's a weak point in their dimension. He investigates the supernatural and paranormal and finds tons of things, such as eye bats, which he writes about, the shapeshifter, which he finds in an egg and then raises in the laboratory, and then of course he locks him away, and we know what happens after that, and those cliffs that are in the shape of a UFO. He even finds who I presume is Smebuluk's dad, and while investigating the gnomes and Smebuluk's dad, he thinks to himself, where's all this paranormal stuff coming from? And this gives him the idea to build the portal. It's also worth pointing out that there's stuff in here we didn't see in the trailer, including the cursed door, I'm pretty sure. It looks similar to the door drawn in his journal, and there's also an axolotl. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but let's just hope I am. He calls Fiddleford McGucket, who went to university with him, and then they both get to work on the portal. However, things don't quite go to plan.
Fiddleford, when gravity falls and Earth becomes sky, fear the beast with just one eye.
So here Fiddleford is just starting to go crazy, and this will be aided by his eventual use of the Forgetinator, because I don't have another name for it. So currently nobody knows what's on the other side of the portal, but it's most likely something to do with Bill Cipher, as he mentioned Bill Cipher. The creature with one eye? Yeah, that's probably him. It's also worth mentioning that Gravity Falls and Earth did become sky. When Grunkle Stan activated the portal, everything rose towards the sky, so that means Bill Cipher is coming, and he's coming soon. There's also a code that McGucket says when he's saying his gibberish. It's actually code and backwards for Bill Cipher Triangle. I feel as though here is where Bill Cipher will first appear to the author soon after this. Now, it won't be the first time that he will have seen Bill Cipher, because he was up to Journal 3 now, and he had written about Bill in Journal 2, but it will be the first time he actually knows who Bill Cipher really is. So here Grunkle Stan enters the author's house during winter. The author looks really tired and nervous and looks like he's been through a lot. He's very quick to attack anybody who comes near him. When Grunkle Stan enters his house, he grabs a torch and looks inside his eyes. He says, "Sorry, I had to make sure you weren't," and then stops. It's very likely that he was going to say, "I had to make sure you weren't possessed," as one of the key features of figuring out who Bill Cipher is possessing is his elongated pupils. It is great to finally find out where Grunkle Stan's tattoo is from. It is not a tattoo, it is in fact a burn mark caused by a red hot symbol on the console unit. Now in an AMA, which stands for Ask Me Anything, somebody asked Bill Cipher what the tattoo meant, and he said it stands for "Watch your back." He might be lying, he might be telling us the truth, or he might be saying something else, we don't know. So, the author finally falls through the portal, and where has he been for 30 years? We have no idea. That wasn't answered in the episode, but something to note is that his glasses fell off when he went through the portal, so he somehow found another pair on the other side. So there must be civilization there, or something similar. So after some folks in a shop he goes to, which is the Dusk to Dawn scene in The Inconveniencing, Grunkle Stan starts tricking tourists into looking at these crazy and kind of stupid things and starts making money off them. And so the Mystery Shack is born, at first named the Murder Hut after the stunt he pulled with the dead tourists. So in this room he first gets a fez and he creates the identity Mr. Mystery. In his room you can see the Stanbucks, some photos, him aging over the years, Seuss, who is Employee of the Year, and this is a picture of him when he's met the kids because there's a photo of them on their fishing trip. This clip also shows how Grunkle Stan kept on trying to get his brother back, but kept on failing without journals 2 and 3. So after telling their story, the author and Grunkle Stan realize that the government agents have started to move into their secret base. And it turns out that Dipper kept the memory wiping ray the entire time ever since episode 7, and he gives it to them and they erase the government's memories. Now, as seen in the season 2 trailer, he is going to have the memory wiping ray again and he's going to be pointing it at someone. So obviously he got it back from the author and something's going to happen because he's going to use it on someone. Also, it may be worth mentioning that the dimension the author was in may be this shot here, because he is wearing the exact same clothes as when he went into the portal, and this might be some type of dreamscape that Bill Cipher's in. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I do not own Gravity Falls, it is owned by the Disney Channel. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I can't wait to make more videos. See ya!